What's going on? This is your boy Richboywayne, aka the Specialist of Opportunity, and in today's video we're going to be talking about running comps and the ARV formula, otherwise known as ARV. Now, what is ARV exactly? No, it doesn't mean you're a pirate. The ARV formula is the after repair value on a property. It is used when calculating the MAO, the Mayo formula, which is the maximum allowable offer that you make, that you present when you're presenting with a seller for your properties. Basically, it is the after repair value equals times 0.7 minus repairs minus your profits, and that is the offer that you would then make. There are many sites to use, that you can use rather, when you're making your ARV or when you're compiling your ARV, and that is Zillow, Trillia, and Redfin. The problem with using those sites, though, is that they're not accurate. They're not always accurate. Usually they're way off, and they don't have good comps for some strange reason. I don't know what it is or where they get their comps from, but they're not good. And you probably don't want to use them because you would look like a idiot when you present your offers. I'm on some of your email lists, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm disappointed in a lot of you wholesalers out there. You should be ashamed of yourself, because I've seen your emails, and I must say I'm disappointed in you. I don't know who's teaching you guys how to run comps, but they're not teaching you guys right. They're doing you a disservice, and you should unsubscribe and complain about their services immediately, because they are doing you a disservice. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the correct way to run comps and to get an accurate ARV. So let's go ahead and dive into it now. The best site to use is the MLS, which is the multiple listing service that the realtors use. The problem with that site is that in order to get access to it, you have to be a realtor. And most people become realtors anyway, but you may not want to do that. You may not want to become a realtor just to get access to that site, because trust me when I say this, that being a realtor is very expensive, and you don't want to go down that road. So an alternative that we've discovered in our market is that real estate service, our multiple listing service, actually runs off of a site called CRS Data. No, in order to get access to the MLS, you have to be a realtor. With CRS Data, on the other hand, you do not. You can actually just buy a subscription, and the subscription costs around, I think, $89, which is a lot cheaper than paying $100 for access to the multiple listing service and all the other fees and all the other everything else you have to pay when you're a realtor. So highly recommend that you get access or subscribe for access to the CRS Data site. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use CRS Data. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so we're at the CRS Data website, and as you see, we're presented with this nice layout. By the way, I'm not an affiliate of CRS Data. I don't make any kind of commission or referral for giving you this information. However, I think that it's a great tool to use, and it's one that I highly recommend, so I'm going to recommend it. So let me go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and show you guys this. These are all the states that CRS Data supports. So there's a good bit of them, but there's a couple of them that are not supported by CRS Data. So if your state is one of those states, then I highly recommend you going and making friends with a realtor, or getting a realtor buddy of yours to go and pull comps for you. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I don't know anybody that's a realtor, which is, I found that kind of difficult to believe because everybody's a realtor nowadays. But, you know, sometimes you got to make friends and influence people. By the way, read that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Read that book. And then do that book. That is a great book. I highly recommend it. But anyway, on the CRS data. So, once you come to this page, we're going to scroll up to the very top. And we're going to click on the button that says log in. Now, they do have a free trial that you can use. If we go to start trial, well, excuse me, let me show you the pricing first. So this is the pricing. $65 a month, instant access, which I can tell you right now, this is a lot cheaper than being a realtor. Trust me on that one. And they give it to you for $39 today. What? That's actually cheaper than what it was. So yeah, it makes absolutely no sense for you not to have this at all. So yeah, go ahead, get this data. I don't care if you gotta sell a kidney or no, I'm just kidding. Don't sell a kidney. But go ahead and have a garage sale or something. Come up with $39. Get access to this. Get in the game. Whatever you gotta do. If you gotta wash cars or mow lawns, that's what you gotta do. But anyway, this is the monthly, yearly, and quarterly plans. I highly recommend doing the monthly because you will not need this every single month. And we only need one county because there's only one county in Nashville that we really focus on. And that's the main county. And it's probably the same for your city. It's probably only one county you focus on. You can do a state if you want. But that's, a little bit more expensive. If you do one or two counties, $67. It's still not bad, but we only really need one county. And we only have one user, so. But we're going to go ahead and log in here. And there's my information. It's already populated. Okay. Now, I've already run a search before, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to go ahead and do it again so you guys can see how this works. So you're going to type in the street name, the street number under where it says street number, and then the street name. Hit search. I'm going to pull up the data, click on the owner's name, and we are presented with this screen. It gives us a property report. Usually I go ahead and save this as a PDF, and this is what I include in my letters to my buyers. When I'm getting ready to send my buyers email out, this is what I include. I include a PDF packet with this information in it because it's very useful for them, and it makes me look like I'm a professional, which I like. I like to look good, and at least look like I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the part that we really care about in this video is this right here where it says comparables. So we'll click on that. Okay, so once we hit submit, it's going to bring us to this page right here. And as you can see, it's giving us a lot of data. And you'll probably notice this right here, this value. It's saying that the property is worth $199,662, which is not accurate at all. And then you'll probably also notice these two bars sticking out right here. We don't want this data to be part of our data set because it's going to throw off our comps. So we need to remove properties 3 and 4, which are these right here. We also want to remove these over here too. 6, 1, 14, 15, and 7. So let's scroll down here for a bit. And let's click on 3, 4. Let's see, what are the other ones we want? Well, I'll click on all of them actually. And I think it's easier just to see which ones we want to keep. So we're going to remove those then. And let's scroll down and let's see. Get rid of these two. Okay, there we go. So now, as you can see, it's now saying the property is worth 156. Now, how do we know that that's accurate or not? We're assuming that the data is good because CRS data, but how can we be sure? Well, let's go ahead and go to Zillow and let's see what Zillow has to say. So if we look at Zillow, it's saying that they're asking 173. But if we scroll up here, their estimate says the house is worth 186. That's a long ways away from 153. Or excuse me, 156. Let's see what Redfin has to say. Let's go to Redfin. Okay, and as you can see on Redfin, it's saying that it's worth 186. So this is 186. Zillow is 186. But how can we be sure that is accurate? How can we be really sure? Well, let's go to the tax assessor website and let's see what the tax assessor says the property is worth. So if we go here on the tax assessor site for our county, it says that the sales price is $179. But if we scroll down here, it's saying that the appraised value is $71,000. That's a long ways away from 156. It's almost half. Now the beautiful thing about our tax assessor site is that we can actually run comps from this site. So if we click on this, it's going to bring us to this screen. And then from here, we can run comps. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And the comps we want to run is we want to include this one. No, actually, I'm sorry. We don't want to include that one. We want to include this one. Let's see. We want to include this one. Let's see, we'll go for this one. We'll go for this one. And we'll select this one. And then we're going to go to Save Comparables. And we're going to save this into a PDF file. And let's see if I can open this on this screen. Okay, I can. Cool. Okay. So if we look here, we're going to get the sales price. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these up and show you guys something cool. So I'm going to bust out the old calculator here. You probably can't see this on your screen, but I'm going to try to do this as best as I can. So we're going to go with the first one. And always round this up to the nearest thousand. So in this case, it'd be 164. So 164,000 plus 130,000 plus 130,000 plus 182, or excuse me, 183 plus 197 equals $804,000 divided by 5 equals 160. Whoa, so we got 160 here. And if we look on CRS data, we got 156. So we can estimate, and it's probably a safe bet to say that this property is worth about 160. So that is how you pull good, solid, quality comps. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we got rid of those two that was thrown off our data. So, yep, It's around 160. Yeah, 156, 157, depending on who you talk to. 160. You really just want to be in the ballpark, and it takes a little bit of practice to get good at this. But once you get good at it, you'll definitely stand out in your market, and people will love you for it. Again, you don't want to go off of Zillow, because as you can see, we're getting 186 as his estimate. We're getting 186 here. We're getting 71 here, but this is the data you want to go for right here, and you typically want to round up to the nearest whole number, if at all possible. I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.